Engineer Robert Kitoni for Mwako.
Yeah, he was expecting you. Can I show you to his office?
Oh, I know my way around here, but how can I refuse the company of a beautiful lady?
Right this way.
Engineer.
Oh, always a pleasure to see you, sir.
You flatter me sometimes.
That too is my pleasure.
You know, I've always wondered how a man with a sweet tongue like you ended up being an engineer.
Well, blame it on my father. I think he made that decision the moment he laid his eyes on me.
Well, I did that to my children too. Like the river, you let them find their own course.
Within reason, of course.
Within reason, of course. Liz?
Yes.
That will be all.
Of course.
So who is suing KPLC this time?
Is that always the case?
Well, that's the only time I get to see you.
Well, I'm delighted to pleasantly surprise you this time round.
Brief me. It will be refreshing.
Women.
Come on, spit it out.
KPLC's Robert Kitoni is in the building. That handsome devil. Anyway, KPLC apparently have another legal tussle.
A suit? He didn't tell me he was coming.
Why would he tell you? KPLC is in my docket.
All that for handsome devil?
KPLC is one of the firm's biggest clients.
That explains it.
Yeah.
That is certainly a very pleasant surprise.
Well, I told you. I thought you would think so.
Well, engineer, I'm sure you've met my associates, Mr. Jogario and
Elsie Kamona. Yes, I have. Glad to see you again. Wow. Your beauty never ceases to amaze me.
Thank you. Charming as usual. I'm flattered.
I meant it. Joe Kairu, my hero. You know, he reduced our case settlement cost by 50%. Quite the bulldozer, is he? That's why you pay us, sir.
Anything to discuss?
Well, I'll certainly leave you to it. Perhaps you could catch up over scotch.
You know I don't drink.
Yes, I know. I'll drink, you pay.
It's a date.
So, which of you two fine attorneys will I be seeing in court?
That would be me.
Well, I guess I'll be seeing both of you then. You know, I like the spirit here. It's remarkable. I have to go.
Good. What was all that about?
This is the KPLC case.
Well, that's yours, thanks to her.
I've been KPLC's legal advisor for the past 3 years.
And I've been the chief settlement negotiator.
Every case you're bragging about was referred to you by me.
But it's because you did not have the panache to handle them.
Oh my God, involving my colleague in trying to give my client the best has been reduced to lack of panache.
Being the legal advisor makes you the exclusive counsel for the account?
Yes, it does.
If you're going to count signing up contracts and drafting termination letters
Guys.
as part of your legal duties,
Could we please calm down? Calm down.
And you came here just the other day. You found us working with a KPLC account and you already have it out of the blue, huh?
What does my employment date have to do with this?
In this profession, my friend, a lot. A lot. And you behave like a little cheeky schoolgirl inside there.
I do a damn good job in this firm, and I sure as hell do a damn better job than you. I do 80% of the workload here while you're busy sniffing after every intern skirt and chasing after every pair of high heels that walks through these corridors. Cat got your tongue? Coward.
Cyrus,
Kadzo,
good to see you, man. How have you been?
never been better.
Yeah, it sure looks like it.
Yeah.
But I was expecting someone from Mwako and Co.
I am Mwako and Co.
Really?
But still a newbie though.
Great, congratulations.
Asante. We should probably catch up sometime.
Oh, yes, sure.
I'm a little at loss here.
You must be Engineer Robert Kitoni.
Guilty as stated.
Cyrus Kileta, Mwako and Co. I'm sure you weren't expecting me here.
Now that's all right, but a little forewarning will be better next time.
All rise.
Where's the victim, John Roa?
Running late, I suppose.
KPLC versus James Oiganzo in the matter of material damage and claim for transformer, and John Roa versus James Oiganzo in the matter of special and general damages for bodily injuries.
I believe all the parties involved in this case are present and ready to proceed. And even if that were not the case, this hearing must commence and tried as scheduled. Plaintiff, I've never seen you in my courtroom before.
I am Cyrus Kileta, representing KPLC and John Roa, the two plaintiffs.
You're Engineer Robert Kiton? That was a question.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yes, I am.
What business has the KPLC engineer got to do with this case? I thought a technical engineer would just testify as well on the company's behalf.
I am actually the chief engineer. Showing people how seriously we take destruction and vandalism of KPLC properties, the main reason I am here.
That's all I needed to hear. Thank you. And who might you be getting into my courtroom this late?
Your Honor, that is John Roa, the plaintiff.
The case was supposed to commence at 10 a.m. It is now 10:09 a.m.
As you can see, it was difficult for me to get ready on time, Your Honor.
You should have woken up earlier. If you're gunning for a sympathy vote from me, you have failed miserably. What is wrong with you? Can you not sit? We need to commence this case. Thank you. Thank you.
Who is this magistrate?
Edna Morale.
Jesus, does she have a hat?
John Roa, I'd like to take you back to the events of 10th of May. You were traveling as a passenger in James Waiganjo's vehicle, is that right?
Ndiyo, tulikuwa tunaelekea Kenyatta Market kukula nyama choma. Alikuwa amenisifia sana ya kwamba anajua the best butchery in town na lazima ningejaribu.
Then what happened?
Tulitoka mapema ili tusishikwe na jam ya lunchtime, but venye tulifika GPO tukakuta jamu hapo imeshikana kidogo, lakini as we continued tukafika community, at least hapo traffic ilikuwa ina flow. Then akaamua kucall bucha yake ili amwalert we are on our way.
All this while he was driving?
Yes, kwanza alikuwa na wakati mgumu sana wa kutoa simu yake kwa mfuko juu alikuwa ameiweka kwa hii mfuko ya trouser, na alipotea barabara kidogo hivi.
Did you offer to assist him?
Nilijaribu lakini alikataa.
And while he was making the phone call, was he still driving?
Ndio.
Did you offer to make the phone call for him instead?
Akaniambia amekuwa akiendesha gari akipiga simu kwa miaka nyingi sana. He was a pro.
A pro? I see. So the phone call didn't go through, yeah?
No. The next thing, akasema anasend SMS. Nikamwambia kuendesha gari ni kitu moja, kupiga simu ni kitu ingine. Akasema atatuma SMS. SMSing is more dangerous.
So you let him text and drive at the same time?
Hakunipatia choice yoyote. The next thing I knew, gari ilikuwa inaelekea straight kwa transformer. Nikagongwa kichwa. Nika black out for like 30 seconds hivi. The moment niliamka, niliona tu watu wakinitoa kwa gari. Nikafungua macho, nikaona duka inachomeka. Kuangalia gari ilikuwa mbaya zaidi. Nika black out tena. Nikaamka baadaye hospitali na wife yangu kuniambia how lucky I was to be alive.
It's true. It could have been worse. So what injuries did you sustain?
Venye unaona. Niligongwa shingo, niliumia. Mbavu zangu tena. Lakini hizo zishatibiwa. Nilivunja mkono na nikavunja magoti yangu. Kutoka hiyo siku sijaiweza kwenda kazi. Na hata kama hata sijui ni lini nitakuja kupona. Na there is still a probability kwamba shingo yangu bado italeta shida. You know, neck is a very sensitive area.
Mr. John Rua, please take a look at these documents. Tell us the nature of those documents.
Hizi za mbele ni risiti za madawa. Hii ya pili ni P3. Na hii ni barua ya hospitali kule nilitibiwa.
Do you wish to tender them as evidence in this case?
Ndio.
Your Honor, the same can be marked as plaintiff's evidence.
Accepted.
Nothing found.
Why are you suing James Oiganjo?
Because he was negligent. Hangekuwa anatumia simu the same time ana drive.
Was it the phone use that caused the accident, or was it the pedestrian that suddenly crossed the road?
Kama hangekuwa anatumia simu akiendesha, angekuwa ameona huyo mama na akatake the appropriate action.
But you do agree with me that he saved a person's life. In fact, he saved 2 lives. A pregnant woman and her unborn child by veering off the road, which ended in him hitting that transformer.
Lakini ajali haingefanyika.
He took the most appropriate action then and saved lives. You'd rather he ran over the pregnant Patricia Dollar?
Of course not.
I'm done.
Officer Sari, on the 10th of May, you accused James Oiganjo with reckless driving, is that right?
Yes.
What was the outcome of that traffic case?
He pleaded guilty, and being first offender, he was charged 5,000 Kenyan shillings.
So, with his admission in court and your report, it is true that James Oiganjo was driving while using his mobile phone?
Most certainly.
In your report, you cited that the damage to the transformer was caused by a head-on collision with a Toyota SUV RAV4 that James Oiganjo was driving. Is that right?
Correct.
Your Honor? So, in your opinion, If the driver was prudent enough in not using his mobile phone while driving, would the accident still have occurred?
Of course not. A driver must be vigilant and eyes on the road all the time. It distracts the driver, and on a busy road, even a loss of concentration for 1 second can be disastrous. The accident was caused because of the driver's negligence.
Thank you.
Would you blame a driver for veering off the road and hitting a transformer just to avoid hitting a pregnant pedestrian? Would you?
No, I wouldn't.
Why?
A human being life is precious.
And that's precisely what happened. I put it to you that my client avoided hitting a pedestrian, hit a pothole, lost control, and hit the transformer.
But he was using his phone while he was driving. Others would have seen the pedestrian on time and avoided the accident.
Was the phone used the direct cause of the accident, or was it the pedestrian and the pothole? Did you visit the accident scene?
Yes, I did.
And was there a pothole on the road?
Yes, there was.
How wide and deep?
About 2 feet wide and 1 foot deep.
Under normal circumstances, would a pothole that huge cause a car to lose control, assuming that one drove blindly through it?
A driver is supposed to watch the road all the time.
I do not dispute that. I'd like to know from your professional opinion whether a pothole that huge can cause accidents on the road, yes or no?
It depends with the speed and the car.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So, what caused the accident? Was it the driver's use of his phone while driving, or was it the pedestrian in the middle of the road and the 2 feet wide pothole? Which one is it?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. So if I said that in the absence of the obstruction by the pedestrian and the pothole, there would have been no accident, would I be right?
As I said, I'm not sure.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
That's good. Drop me a line if there's anything else. I have to go. Good. Elsie, seem to have something in your mind.
Yes, I do. I don't even know where to begin.
Well, as they say, begin at the beginning.
I'd like to revisit our earlier discussion on my future in this firm. I believe I'm ready to make partner. My client pool is huge. I bring in revenues in the millions.
Elsie.
Bad timing?
As a matter of fact, impeccable.
Mr. Mwako.
It's all right.
Well, I'm curious as to why my timing is impeccable, Mr. Mwako.
Well, for starters, I wanted to give you this. The firm is growing. There is an opening for partnership, but only one spot. It can be filled internally or externally. There are a lot of mitigating factors which will determine that. Now that you both know it, I presume you know what to do. So let's get on with it. And one more thing. I cannot and will not stand the shameful debacle that I saw concerning the KPLC. I expect you to maintain integrity and professionalism at all times. That will be all.
Engineer Robert Kichoni, what was the extent of the damage to the transformer?
Beyond repair.
Did you see it yourself and confirm the same?
It has been looked at by 3 people. The first 2 were the technicians sent on site. The last person was I. I had to verify the extent of damage to facilitate the purchase of another.
So as we're speaking right now, there's a new transformer that replaced the damaged one?
Oh, yes.
And what was the cost of the new transformer?
500,000 Kenya shillings, and we'd like to have that money back.
Why? I thought you're a big company. Can't you have enough money to run such a small loss?
You know, the reasons why we are not as effective as we ought to be is attributed to the likes of James Waiganjo. People who have complete disregard to the structures, to the equipment, and to the machines that are necessary for a smooth supply of power. We spend more money repairing and replacing, money that should otherwise be channeled to expansion and to better service to our customers.
Yeah. Nothing further.
All you want is your money back?
And an example made of people who destroy the smooth supply of power. The retard development, you know.
Hypothetically speaking, if my client walked in your office before you replaced your transformer with 500,000 in cash, would you be suing him? Probably not. Am I right?
That's not the point.
You would have no grounds of suing him.
You know, KPLC has been the victim of his negligence, and in the course of it, he disrupted a very vital service to a different customer. So no, it's not just about the money.
I'm done with this witness.
Any other witnesses for the plaintiff?
None, Your Honor.
Very well. Defense?
The defense calls Patricia Dollar.
Tafadhali nipatieni kiti. Hamna ile fan portable, it's hot.
You're the pedestrian that was saved by the heroic actions of James Waiganjo, the defendant?
Yes. Every night I pray for him. He risked his life for me. In fact, if this baby is a boy, I'll call him James.
Very noble of you. Could you describe to the court what took place that day?
I was from the market and I was very exhausted. All I wanted was to get home. I had to cross the road to get at 33. While I was crossing, I don't know what happened. For some strange reasons, I couldn't move my limbs. There I was standing still in the middle of a busy road. I was scared. It was like a horrible nightmare.
That must have been scary. So what happened next?
I saw this car coming straight to me. I couldn't move. I just said, Jesus! The next thing I knew, I saw this car. The car swerved, went into the pothole, then crashed into the transformer. Hata karibu nizalie hapo. Ni Mungu tu.
What happened next?
People ran to the car to save the driver and the passengers. A woman came and led me out of the road, but I couldn't leave until I was sure the driver and the passengers were safe.
How bad do you think this accident could have been if the car actually hit you?
I can't imagine.
So the car swerved, missing you by a few inches?
At a few inches. The car touched my dress. That is how close I was to my death. He somehow avoided killing me.
Thank you.
While you were crossing the road, you checked for any oncoming traffic?
What do you mean? I'm not a child who crosses the road aimlessly.
Please, yes or no?
Are you trying to blame this on me?
No. I'm actually trying to establish...
Establish what, huh? What?
Please answer the question, madam.
Yes. I checked the road well and confirmed there was no oncoming traffic.
So, when you started crossing, the roads were clear?
Yes.
Then, where did James Waiganjo's vehicle appear from?
I don't know.
You checked the roads?
Yes.
And yet you don't have any idea where it came from?
I did not see it coming. I was stranded in the middle of the road.
So, is it right to say that the driver lost control of the vehicle?
All I know is that the driver could have killed me, but he didn't. Where the car came from or which side it was on or anything else is blah blah to me. Are you done?
How long have you been driving?
That should be 24 years.
Ever had a motor accident while driving?
Never.
Please, describe to the court how the unfortunate accident occurred.
Well, I just got into the corner. Right in the middle of the road is this pregnant woman. I tried hooting at her, but she stood there transfixed. Behind me there's this speeding vehicle. So braking meant it could have hit me from the rear. So I swerved right as far as I could, not to hit Patricia. Suddenly there's this huge pothole. I hit the pothole, it throws the car off the road into the transformer. Were it not for the seatbelt and the airbags, I'd be a dead man. KPLC would be suing my estate.
So you didn't sustain any injuries, did you?
I walked out with no scratch.
How come your passenger got injured?
He refused to buckle up.
Back to the accident scene. While you were negotiating the corner moments before the accident, were you using your mobile phone to send text messages?
No. It was at the corner. I'd finished texting when I was in the jam. Just before I got to that corner.
Mm-hmm. So were it not for Patricia Dollar in the middle of the road, would you have crashed into the transformer?
No, why? Not unless I wanted to kill myself.
Thank you.
You must have some very amazing skills. Texting with one hand without looking.
I use the T9 text predictor. And I have my keypads by my fingertips.
Ah, impressive. Now, do you remember the exact text that you sent the butcher?
Vaguely, yes.
Vaguely will do. Please tell us.
Ekelea mbuzi, kilo mbili, kachumbari na ugali.
Ekelea mbuzi... Wait, there's T9 in Swahili?
Well, I have configured my phone's dictionary to some Swahili.
Oh. Do you have your phone on you?
Yes, but it's off.
Please turn it on.
Huh?
Turn on your phone. Now, we will use this as a blindfold. As you text the exact wordings you've just given us.
Objection. What is this, skinny macho?
His defense is that he was avoiding to hit a pregnant woman when the accident occurred. It had nothing to do with his phone, which he can actually use to text without even looking. A simple test will give us the answers.
Blindfolding a man?
I'll allow it. Proceed.
James, are you ready?
Just a minute.
Begin texting when you're ready. Remember, it's ekelea 2 kg, nyama mbuzi, ugali, and kachumbari. How much time do you need?
Just hold on.
Elsie.
What?
Sorry about the other day.
Okay. You're forgiven.
But one thing that baffles me is why all this aggression towards me of late.
Wow.
I feel as if we're competing.
But we are. Joe, I didn't join this firm to make friends. I came here to build my career.
Is it about the partnership?
There's only room for one of us. And the one thing I don't see is you as my boss.
Please hand over the phone. as you unblind yourself, James. You have typed a ju. I can hardly comprehend this. Your Honor.
Go on.
Now, James, I will ask you this for the last time. Can you actually text and drive without looking at your phone?
A little.
A little means yes or no?
Well, when I can look at...
Yes or no, James?
I guess no.
Well, Your Honor, I have nothing to say. Oh, and please hand over my tie.
Well, James Iganjo, you must agree with me that your blindfold attempt failed miserably. I couldn't even grade it. That means the one thing that I hate the most, wastage of my time, while all along you knew your defense was a fib. Next time, try to come up with something more credible, more entertaining, something worth my time. Be that as it may, there has been overwhelming evidence of your negligence as pertains to this traffic case. In the matter of KPLC versus James Waiganjo, I rule in favor of the plaintiff, and I enter judgment for the plaintiff to pay 500,000, to be paid 500,000 Kenya shillings as payment for the transformer. KPLC is also entitled to a refund of the labor costs of installing that transformer. In the matter of John Rua versus James Waiganjo, I rule in favor of the plaintiff and award compensatory damages of 150,000 Kenya shillings for pain and suffering, and special damages of 82,530 Kenya shillings to include medical expenses. Court adjourned.
And the judgment could have been worse.
Hiyo milioni yote nitatoa wapi? And easy for you to say since I've already paid you.